Hi, my name is Master Jamie. Welcome back. This is tutorial 2 in my series of tutorials called How to Make Latex Fetishwear. In this tutorial I will cover pattern making. Pattern making is just applying your bodily measurements to paper, or in our case card, and then applying them to the material, in our case latex. From your latex making kit, which we discussed in tutorial 1, we went into great detail, you will need your measuring tape, your French curves rulers, a Sharpie, a pen, a gel pen, whatever, something to write with, your latex with your your ruler with your fine increments, tape, and your cardstock. You will also need a beer. Now, the best way to apply a pattern to paper from your body is to measure. Now don't giggle. Measure, and in this case we'll be making a tank top. Tank tops are just very easy to make. That's why what I started with, and most people start with. Latex Kitty recommends you start with that. Basically, you establish a center line. This is for putting your measurements onto your pattern. I will show you more, but just to give you some rough mental idea of what we're going to do. Establish a center line on your pattern. Take measurements from your waist. We go up a little along your center line, take another measurement. We'll measure your chest. We'll also get the circumference for the neck by measuring out from the center line a couple of inches, and that will give you how round your neck needs to be. And then there will be a measurement from here to here and on the other side. And that is how you get all of the measurements for your tank top. Now, it's easy to do on a small board. I will show you how to do it in real life. And hopefully you'll have a pattern for one fine tank top. Okay, so the very first thing you will do on your pattern, now I'm doing this smaller scale, you will be doing this full scale, is to establish a center line. Now the center line basically only needs to be in the center of the pattern. Oop, like so. Now you will establish a waistline. These two measurements are very general. The most important thing to bear in mind is that this tank top will be made in two pieces, a front piece and a back piece. So when you measure around your waist, the front piece will only have half the roundness of your waist. Half the circumference of your waist will go on the front piece, half on the back. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you how to get those measurements and tailor the pattern to your own body type. First measurement you will need is your center line. Now this has no general length unless you're putting a zip in. So you will simply draw a straight line down the center of your pattern. The second is the waistline. Where you place this isn't that important. Generally people go halfway between the belly button and the pubic bone. You will then measure around that part of your body. On me it came to 32 inches. The front panel of the tank top will have half that length. The back panel will make up the rest of the length. So half of 32 is 16. From the center line you measure out 8 inches either side. You then go up. Generally you will go to your thinnest part, which is, on me, it's just above my kidneys. You'll then measure out again, making sure you only put half the measurement of your total circumference on the front panel. After that, you can measure your chest. It will generally be thicker. Now, on women, you will have to measure slightly differently. I will cover that in a later tutorial. This tank top will fit a woman, no problem. However, it could possibly be more flattering than it will be. Those more complicated measurements I will cover in a later tutorial. This is just the very basics. Now, this measurement can be tricky to get. How I get it is at the width of the nipples, I come out until I reach this point. So you basically come out your center line a number of inches. Then you measure up. Again on the other side. You can then establish this length on the tank top. This is up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I think I used 3 inches. However, you could go very thick or very thin. Women, it's generally a good idea to go thinner. Also for a woman, it can be more flattering to do a lower neckline. Having established how long you want these to be, it's good to mark that. Then you have to establish how low you want the neck to come. So you would measure from the middle of the neck down. So you would draw a line across and measure down. Now, these are all of the measurements that you will need. The only one that's tricky to get on this pattern is this measurement. Now, women can go quite low with this because the body is a different shape. However, men, it's generally a good idea to measure around your armpit and half that number. Okay. Now, here is where your French curves come in. Simply join the lines using your French curves. Now you'll notice I'm doing this very generally. The reason being, your French curves do not have any increments on them. It is more an art form than it is a science. Now, just to make that a little clearer for you guys at home, I'll go in with my Sharpie. And that's not my Sharpie, that's my whiteboard marker. It's my Sharpie. Make those lines a little heavier. Now, as you can see, the pattern emerges. In real life, at real size, this neck would probably come lower, and these arm lengths, bear in mind these would be the holes, these won't be seams that are glued, these will be holes, might possibly be longer. But that's a pretty comprehensive way to get your pattern. Okay, so now that you have your pattern marked out, you take your scissors and you cut around, and you get something like that. Now that is in my size. Yours might be smaller or might be larger. Like I said, this is a unisex design. In a later tutorial, I will teach you how to add more room in the chest for boobies. So then you simply take your latex, you put your pattern down, you take your gel pen and you draw around it. Very simple. Okay, now that concludes the pattern making tutorial, which is tutorial 2. Tutorial 3 will be repairs, and then tutorial 4 will be actually using the pattern we've made in this tutorial, applying it to latex, cutting it out and making the garment. So if you already know how to repair your clothes, skip ahead. If not, keep watching and we'll get to it eventually. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye now.